Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Game Archer here with the brand new video for you guys today. Welcome to the channel. Do all the things the algorithm likes, and let's get things started. Short intro today. I don't want to just get into it because this could potentially be another long video. So I wanted to talk about the comparisons between Ground War and Modern Warfare 2 and Conquest and Battlefield 2042, because I've seen, a very kind of dumb dialogue going around that Ground War is a better Battlefield than 2042 is, and it's entirely silly. It's entirely one of them dumb hot takes. It's entirely a reach because Ground War is nowhere near being a Battlefield, replacement. It's nowhere near being better than Battlefield, especially not better than Battlefield 2042. So in today's video, I want to talk about the differences between Ground War and 2042, as well as what makes 2042 a better experience, and why me personally doesn't have the same kind of issues or experience in negative experience with 2042 as I do in Ground War and in Invasion. So in Ground War, the biggest issue there is the map designs do not favor infantry play whatsoever. And when it comes to Battlefield, they make sure that they do a good enough job at designing their maps to where infantry has a chance to do something, but also vehicles are allowed to do something, and people who choose to snipe can do something. There's a very big balance and cohesion in the design of a Battlefield map. It's never just built to cater to one side. There's always some way to make the map equal or even in a sense. You don't really get that in Ground War. In Ground War, the maps are designed basically to favor just two forms of play: sitting still and vehicles. If you are someone who wants to run around the maps for Ground War, it's damn near impossible. Damn near. It's not entirely impossible, it's just damn near impossible. You'll see gameplay playing Ground War and playing Invasion, and I'm moving around, but I'm not moving around a lot. Now you move around as much as you usually see me do when I'm playing 66 game modes. And the issue when the map design is, for Call of Duty, a lot of their maps have just they're wide, but there's not enough to protect people who are running around the map. There's too many windows and there's too many rooftops. Battlefield doesn't have that issue. First off, there's very few windows in Battlefield. Just is rare for them to be windows. And I always say this when it comes to Battlefield, even 2042, even could be what it's very nerfed in its aspect. But Battlefield, my saying is, there's no such thing as cover. It's just concealment, temporary concealment. So the reason why camping isn't a big issue in Battlefield is for that exact reason. If someone is somewhere in Battlefield and you don't want them in that spot, you get them out. You either you call it out to your team and like, hey, can any of you chopper guys get to the rooftops and take these snipers out? Done. You B, hey, I'm gonna get into a tank and deal with these dudes who are sitting in this building. Done. Or C, you take a freaking rocket launcher and you put it into that window. The rare window that you see, and now that window is now a big ass destroyed small house because you destroyed the fucking house. So that's the benefit that Battlefield has. Battlefield's destructibility helps prevent a lot of the issues that a rusher will have in Ground War Invasion. Battlefield's destructibility prevents camping. It prevents a mass number of sniping. I said in my live stream on Twitch, which you can follow, hitting the link below, that if there's a lot of snipers Battlefield. If the Battlefield's 128 players, there's a lot of snipers Battlefield. There's at least 10 on each team. However, you might see one, because the way the maps are designed, the way the map flows, the way the gameplay flows, doesn't necessarily put you in the crosshairs of snipers too often. And because this Battlefield is not very, I don't want to say it's not easy, but it's a lot more complicated to snipe Battlefield than it is to say Call of Duty. Call of Duty, as I often say, you can snipe someone's shoulder and get a one-hit kill. You can graze someone's elbow, get a one-hit kill. Battlefield, you only get a one-hit kill with most sniper rifles if it's chest level and up. So if you hit below the chest, the person who you hit is going to just walk away. Y'all got will bullet drop in Battlefield by a lot. There's a lot of bullet drop Battlefield, so it's a lot harder to snipe Battlefield than it is in Call of Duty, and because of the time to kill when it comes to sniper rifles, if you got to get a headshot to get a one hit kill with most of the snipers. So because of all of that, even if you are an infantry player and you're running around and you might hear like those whistling shots of a sniper rifle bullet, going past you, or you might even get hit once in like in your lower body or whatever. But you'll just keep going because they missed their shot, and it's gonna take them a while to get their second shot off. Most of the good sniper rifles on the battlefield are bolt action rifles, so like, they take a second before they can get that next shot off. Whereas in like Call of Duty, you can kind of spam your shots a little bit. So that's why, like, you'll see my gameplay in Battlefield, and you won't see me deal with snipers all that often. And generally, where they're going to be located. For example, if you're playing Kaleidoscope, you know that there might be snipers who are camping at the top of a D spawn or the D flag. And generally, you deal with that by just letting the chopper guys deal with it. The chopper guys will get all the people who are sniping on top of D flag off D flag. There's also G flag on Kaleidoscope that usually a lot of people, G and F, a lot of people will go to the rooftops and sit there and camp. You avoid that by just not even going that way anyways. There's always been a map in Battlefield where there's locations that you kind of just avoid because it's kind of suicide. Like anywhere that has an elevator, you avoid the elevator because it's just suicide. And the maps are so big we don't have to worry about it. Like a lot of Battlefield maps, you can win games by just while ignoring 2 flags. You can ignore F and G in Kaleidoscope and still win because the important flags in Kaleidoscope are C, D, and E. If you have those 3, your chance of winning is very, very high. The other thing that benefits Battlefield over Ground War is no kill streaks. You can't camp your way to winning in Battlefield. You have to capture the flags. You can't just sit there and I'm gonna sit here and snipe from one side to the other side of the map, hit these bots, hit some people who are also sniping, so you kind of sniping, and then now all of a sudden you have a chopper gunner, you got a stealth bomber, you got a gunship and things like that. That's not how Battlefield works. You literally have to cap flags. You got to move. If you're sniping, your ability to be useful to your team is very, very low. Whereas in Ground War Invasion, it's all it kills anyway. So you're killing like all these bots and things like that. Like they even have a moment of Ground War Invasion where they'll literally drop kill streaks into the field, and it usually drops towards the team that's losing. So the losing team has a chance to do a full comeback just through kill streaks alone. So that also takes a lot of the skill and success from Ground War Invasion and Ground War in general. So that's not to say that Ground War itself is like bad, but it's just nowhere near being as good as Battlefield. It's nowhere near as being better than Conquest, because it's not that's an outlandish take. Ground War is a sniper simulator. You really can't move. Everyone's just sniping. The rooftops are just, there's just too many rooftops. There's not enough space. Battlefield has a lot of space, and that space allows you to move around the map. Battlefield has a lot of terrain movement in terms of there's hills and bumps and things like that, to where, if you're running out in the open, you at least have like a hill behind you that curves up or down that prevents people having a line of sight on you. Unless you're like literally just being a headless chicken, you will not get sniped that often in Battlefield. You just won't. And even when it comes to camping, do people camp Battlefield? Sure, there are people camping in all shooters, but you will rarely come across them. And if you do come across them, they're very easy to kill. It's very easy to deal with campers in Battlefield because, again, destructible environments equals you can just destroy where they're at. That's been like my go-to Battlefield. Whenever someone's camping and building Battlefield, I pull out a recoilless or a small and I destroy that building. I pull out C4 and I destroy that building. Like, they'll die and not be able to camp that spot again, because now that camp that spot is now just wide open. Ground War Invasion. Make this clear. I am not making this video to talk shit about Call of Duty. I'm not making this video to downplay Call of Duty or insult the game, because I think the game's good. I think the community ruins it. I think the developers designed these maps in a way where they are hoping that it will lead to some good close quarters combat, as well as some good vehicle combat, as well as some potential sniping. The issue is their community is full of bitches, and developers, maybe they do that, maybe they don't know that, but their community is bitches. I had a game of Ground War the other day where the entire kill feed was just snipers. Like, I shit you not, the entire kill feed for both teams was just sniper rifles. That's all you see in the kill feed, just sniper. The only time you wouldn't see a sniper in the kill feed was when I killed somebody, because I'm running around with a freaking, I think at that point I was running around with an AK variant AR, because I was trying to unlock the next SMG, which I probably had to play with an AK AR. So it's like you don't see any other gunplay in Ground War or an Invasion, because everyone's just sniping. And whoever's not sniping is incurring a kill streak. If they're not kill streak, they're one of these shitty vehicles. And I say shitty because the ground war vehicles are ass. Like, they're terrible. It's another comparison Battlefield that Battlefield wins every single time. The vehicles in Call of Duty are shit. Like, I've literally hit people point blank range with the LAV and ground war and got a hit marker. I've shot into buildings where I've seen people with a tank and don't even get a hit marker. Like, in Battlefield, if I shoot into a building with a tank, everything in that building is dead, and there's a good chance that that building is going to be coming down. If I'm shooting someone with an LAV in Battlefield, it's dead. Infantry is not surviving any kind of like direct impact or close quarters impact from a vehicle Battlefield. You're just not. It's not happening. You know? And the other thing about Call of Duty, because that's stupid, is if you touch a vehicle of an enemy, you auto die. It's not even a joke. They don't have to run you over, anything like that. They don't even have to shoot you. If you happen to touch the vehicle while an enemy is occupying it, you automatically die. That is dumb. In Battlefield, I can freaking teabag on top of my the enemy tank and be perfectly freaking fine. The reason why that matters is because it allowed that's a good way to like get direct impacts with, like, let's say the drill charge in Call of Duty. It's a good way Battlefield to do C4 kills. Throughout my entire time playing Battlefield games, I've always been someone who runs around C4 and runs to vehicles and throw C4 on them and then blow them up. You'll see a few of those clips, or at least one of those clips in this video. And the C4 in Battlefield is so much better than C4 in freaking Call of Duty. C4 Call of Duty is way too freaking big, and also its flight path is just terrible. So I don't understand how people can make those comments, those really silly and really dumb comments about that ground war is better Battlefield than 2042. It's not. A lot of those comments are maybe people who don't even play Battlefield. Like Angry Joe, for example. Angry Joe is someone who has openly said that he thinks ground war is better Battlefield than 2042. Angry Joe hasn't played Battlefield 2042 since it came out. And that's most people. Most people haven't played the game since it came out. It came out at launch. It was shit, and people haven't played it since then. And that's it. People haven't played the game since launch, and they're telling you things as if they played it yesterday. They're not people who are playing on a normal basis. That game has changed drastically since launch. There's been a lot of updates to improve the game, a lot of reworks to maps, a lot of new content. They're coming out in the next season with classes and things like that. And it's like, you can hate Battlefield all you want, because, you know, that's just your opinion. You can do what you want. It's your choice. It's your money. But I'm telling you this right now, when I'm annoyed at Call of Duty Battlefield 2 because of all the camping, I go for Battlefield. When I want to play some like all-out war style gameplay, I go for Battlefield. When I want to play some casual 6.6s, I play Call of Duty. And again, this isn't like an insult towards Modern Warfare 2. This video entirely exists as a response to these outlandish comments that I see about Battlefield 2042 in comparison to ground war. You know, like you saw my review of Battlefield, but my review of MW2. The game has way more content than Battlefield. Both games have shit UI. Call of Duty has more guns. And it's just, there's a lot of the things that Call of Duty does right compared to Battlefield, 100%. But large scale vehicle warfare and infantry, that's Battlefield. Call of Duty doesn't come close. Ground war doesn't come close. Invasion doesn't come close. It just doesn't. And anyone who's comparing it and saying that ground war is better than 2042 is an idiot who doesn't know what they're talking about, and probably hasn't even played Battlefield before ever, or hasn't played it since launch. Because there's no way anyone in their right mind can freaking play ground war and then play battle, and then afterwards go play 2042 and be like, yeah, that the ground war is definitely better than this. The vehicles in ground war are better than vehicles here. The infantry play is better in ground war. It's not. You're not allowed to be a rusher in those games. It's just everyone just sitting around sniping, which isn't Battlefield. Are there snipers? Sure. You rarely see them. Throughout this entire video, you've seen some Battlefield gameplay, you've seen the Call of Duty gameplay, and you might have only seen one sniper the entire time in Battlefield. Because the maps are that big. The maps are so big and and there's so much spacing, and to where you're just not going to come across snipers that often. unless you're trying to come across snipers. Like unless you're hunting them down, like maybe you die to one once, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna keep coming that way, trying to get you. You keep getting sniped. There are some maps like Renewal that has a location where people do tend to go there to snipe, and that's just the favorite areas for the community. But again, it's really hard to snipe when there's choppers coming at you. You know, a decent Battlefield team is not going to have issues with snipers. Just not going to. But anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. I don't want to like drag it on for too long. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all stay safe. Be constant with another big boy Nubis. Follow me on Twitch. Link to me in the description box below. Y'all be good. Be true to yourselves. I'm out of here. Deuces.